Hey guys, thanks for cooking with Tammy. Today I'm going to share with you a delicious recipe for a 7-Up cake, guys. So with that being said, let's get started. The ingredients that we're going to need are 3 cups of sifted all-purpose flour, as well as 5 large whole eggs, 3 cups of granulated sugar. However, I've made the cake many times before. Sometimes I use 2 cups, sometimes you use 1.5 cups. I know the recipe calls for 3 cups, but you could kind of play it up or play it down. As well as 3 sticks of unsalted butter. I know you only see 2 sticks, but I did use 3. A tablespoon of pure vanilla extract, as well as a pinch of salt, and a tablespoon of lemon zest, as well as 1 cup of 7-Up, 1 large bowl, a spatula, a bundt pan, as well as a handheld mixer or a stand mixer. Alright guys, it's baking time. Let's do this. We're going to add our 3 sticks of unsalted butter to a large bowl. And using our handheld mixer or stand mixer, we're going to mix the butter until it's nice and smooth in texture. Once the butter has been softened, we're going to add our 3 cups of granulated sugar. And using our handheld mixer, we're going to combine both of the ingredients together. And the hand that you see holding the spatula, guys, as I'm mixing my cake, guys, is my husband's hand. I'm telling you. He's my #1 fan. He's always helping me. I mean, we do so many family projects together. So don't be surprised if I'm doing a video and you might see like extra hands or extra big hands or extra little hands. Not to go off on a tangent, guys, and start rambling, but I got a story for you. Guys, I'm telling you, as I'm mixing this cake, all I could think about was my grandmother. Oh my God, my grandmother was such a remarkable lady. She was like so cool and so upbeat. My grandmother would always make cakes, guys. And the thing about it is she would never use a handheld mixer like how we do today. She would always use a wooden spoon to get the job done. She would actually use the wooden spoon, guys, to turn her butter and sugar into cream. And I mean, this lady would sit and mix and whip and just sit and mix and whip until the texture of the butter and the sugar became so creamy in texture. Oh my God. I'm not even exaggerating. It was such a sight to watch. So as a little girl coming up, even in my teenage years, I would watch, even in my 20s, come to think about it. I would always like literally just stand and watch her make her cakes. It was so interesting to watch, guys. And even when it came down to adding her flour and everything, I mean, pretty much put it this way. She made the entire cake by hand, with the exception of bacon, of course. But I'm telling you guys, it was something else. No wonder her arms stayed so toned, guys, because if you had to mix and make cakes by hand like twice a week, and it was just something that she chose to do because we came from a big family, I'm telling you, I think our arms would be toned too. It got to the point where my mom, she had offered to buy my grandmother a handheld mixer because my grandmother at that point in time now, she's like in her 80s and was still mixing cakes by hand, guys. Oh my goodness. So my mom said to her, I'm going to buy you a handheld mixer, you know, to help with making your cakes. And my grandmother was like, a mixer for what? My hands could do the job just fine. And my mom was like, no, I'm going to get you a handheld mixer. And my grandmother replied, if you get me a handheld mixer, it's just going to sit here and collect dust. Because as I told you, my hands is good enough to get the job done. So, of course, my mom, she goes out, she gets the handheld mixer, she brings it back to the house. And my grandmother was so determined, guys. She actually, would you believe, she never touched that handheld mixer. She just let it sit there and it collected dust. And we were like, oh my goodness. And every time she would make cakes, guys, she would continue to use her wooden spoon. Oh my goodness. Anyway, guys, if your grandmother was anything like mine, be sure to subscribe and comment down below. Getting back to making this cake. When we're finished, we're going to add our eggs, but we're only going to add 1 egg at a time. Adding 1 egg at a time, guys, would assure that our eggs are mixed properly with our butter mixture. Continue to mix until everything becomes smooth and creamy in texture. Once all of the ingredients are combined, we're going to add our pure vanilla extract, as well as our lemon zest, as well as a pinch of salt. And when adding our flour, we're going to add 1 cup at a time. Be sure, guys, when adding your flour, do not overmix because flour does contain gluten. And once the gluten is activated, unfortunately, it would cause your cake to become tough or hard. So mix only enough to combine the flour with the other ingredients, but don't overmix. Okay guys, so it's now time to add the 7-Up. And as you can see, after the 7-Up is added, the consistency of the batter is so smooth and creamy. Using the spatula, we're just going to continue to mix all of the ingredients together before placing it into our bun pan. Even though I'm using a non-stick baking pan, for surety, I always spray a little non-stick cooking spray into my pans. Once all of the ingredients are added to the bundt pan, we're going to place it in our preheated 325-degree Fahrenheit oven, and we're going to allow our cake to bake for 1 hour and 15 minutes. Alrighty guys, so it's been 1 hour and 15 minutes, and as you can see, my cake is fully baked. So at this point in time, I'm going to remove the cake from the oven, set it aside, allow it to cool for about 30 minutes to assure that the cake is baked all the way through. You can stick either a toothpick or a bread knife into the center of the cake before removing it from the pan and icing it. And if the toothpick or the knife comes out clean, then the cake is fully baked. As you can see guys, this 7-Up cake is so beautiful. Alright, moving on to making the icing or the frosting for the cake. It's so simple guys. Taking our 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter, we're going to melt it in the microwave for about 5 to 10 seconds. Once the butter has been melted, we're going to add it to our confectioner's sugar and our tablespoon of water, as well as our pure vanilla extract. And we're going to mix all of the ingredients until it becomes liquefied before placing it back into the microwave for an additional 5 seconds. Once removed from the microwave, drizzle it on onto the cake. When drizzling the frosting onto the cake, it works best when using a 4-cornered bowl, like I'm using, or a piping bag, or something with a spout to make it a little easier to add the frosting to the cake. And this, guys, is the finalized product. Be sure to stick around for more clips at the end. So it's now time for the fun part. Let's cut into this cake to see what we've got. Oh wow guys, as you can see, the texture and the moistness of this cake is absolutely amazing. I can't wait to dig in. Anyway guys, until next time.